So yes, it's another afternoon. I'm just gonna welcome everyone to Together We Rise, Building Our Nation. Another episode, and this afternoon we'll be sitting in with Mr. Walford Stewart, aka Wally B. You know, second time around on the platform, and
Blessings.
welcome Mr. Wally B. But this afternoon, there's some very important news that we wanna bring forth. Sir Wally B, the man who is behind the Battle Support Gala, which will be now taking turn into Jamaica. You know, this is gonna be new, bringing it into Jamaica from overseas. Man who attended STETHS from 2000, man who represents STETHS in the D Cup, man who went on overseas to study, and now man is also a part of the STETHS alumni group. So as you can see, there'll be a lot to talk about tonight, and it couldn't be a better occasion to bring him on when we are now at the World Cup staging. And as a baller, I really want to start this conversation surrounding the World Cup. We know you don't even have to be a baller, but everybody will be carrying a team in the World Cup. So, Wally B, we're gonna take it off with the World Cup. Presently, tell us the team that you support. Why you support such team. And what you think. Gonna happen in this World Cup.
Um, it's very interesting so far. I see a lot of upsets to begin with. I think the World Cup started when Brazil's first game started, which was just the other day. So I'm definitely a Brazilian by heart, obviously Jamaican by nationality, but I definitely bring Brazil. I like their style. I'm more of a flary player, so I really go for that kind of style. And definitely Ronaldinho, was and still is an idol of mine. So I used to say I watch Ronaldinho, not soccer. You know what I mean? So even though he's not playing, I'm still Brazilian. I think we have a lot of upsets. That's still gonna happen, but I'm going Brazil for the championship. Definitely, they're favorites. So I think Brazil is gonna take this one.
All right, definitely. I want to know this, Walibi. Once we're Jamaican, Jamaica always be supporting Brazil and Argentina over the years. As early as I come up, the two teams that everybody be talking to about
Right,
is
right,
Brazil
right, right.
and Argentina. Why Jamaica kind of adapt to this type of football and these two countries?
I think people probably would figure we would go for an African country, right? Since that's our roots, but I think it's our ambition. I think it's the ambition of Jamaicans as to why we obviously gonna go for the top teams. The teams that constantly are in the top 10 world teams. So Argentina is definitely one of those. Brazil definitely have Spain. You have Portugal. So I think it's just our ambition. We're definitely gonna go for a top team. We're definitely, is going to live vicariously through those teams. So really and truly, that's why I think Jamaicans are always gonna go for Brazil, the Argentina, and those kind of top teams.
For me, sometimes I wouldn't be watching the soccer early season for the qualifiers and anything. But once it gets to the World Cup staging,
Work hard.
you know my Brazil flag is gonna be going up on my
Right, right.
Argentina.
Yeah, I think it's just ambition. I think we we want to represent Jamaica and we represent Jamaica as Brazil, the top team. Like even though we're going for Brazil or Argentina, we're still going for Jamaica and we still, say Jamaica is gonna win the World Cup, even though Jamaica is not in the World Cup. So we just replace them with a top team that we think is going to win. So it's all ambition. Jamaicans are very ambitious, you know.
All right, just to widen your prediction, Wally. The biggest part of the World Cup is making it into the quarterfinal. Which are the teams that you think will be making it over to the quarterfinals?
Actually never thought of it, but I know Brazil for sure. I don't know the group so well, because I really and honestly I just watch the Brazilian games, but I can see Argentina getting out of their group. I heard Cameroon is doing pretty well. So um, honestly, I don't know who's gonna make it out to the top eight, but definitely Brazil for sure.
Man, you're not leaving out your Brazil. Brazil all the way.
That's the only games I watch. I kid you not. You know.
Well, I guess all the Argentina fans would have gotten scared and losing the first game. Everybody, following Messi all the way. And we see a lot of Jamaican were disturbed. They even take it to the street.
Right. But Messi showed up. You know. Actually, I saw that game. To be honest, Messi showed up. He showed up. I actually wanted them to drop out. You know, because I have some friends that are they bleed Argentina. You know, so I actually wanted them to drop out. So I kind of watched that game. But
be,
Messi did his thing.
be careful what you say, pan here, you know, 'cause you have a
It's
whole
all
lot
it's all fun. It's all fun and game, man. It's all fun and game. And I like it. I like it. It's clean competition. It's clean environment. It's good. It's good for us. It's good for us. Keep us in contact. A good way for us to know that everybody is good and doing well. Because you see them posting their teams and cheering for their team. So even though you don't get to check up on everybody, at least you know that people are good and healthy. So it's clean fun.
All right. I'm just gonna take it another level. We know we have some big team over there. Jamaica, like again, Manchester United, Arsenal. But when it comes on to at the top level, which are the top ballers, at least four of your top ballers, despite the fact that they may not be from Brazil now.
Right. Forget about Brazil, huh?
You can pick a Brazil player,
Top ballers right now. I have to pick the obvious top threes, the top three. The Cristiano Ronaldo. His work ethic is just different. Like if you're gonna build the complete player, you have to include that guy's work ethic. So as a soccer player, you have to pick that guy no matter what. Top five, definitely. Obviously Messi. It's just natural skills. Sometimes he probably doesn't even know half of the things that he did. He doesn't know how he does it. It's just natural raw talent. So definitely Messi, and you have Neymar who follows right behind, who is just another extremely talented player. Um, who else? I like the guy that scored the two goals for Brazil, Anthony. That guy is pretty talented, and I like or left midfielder. That guy is definitely just raw talent again. So I really am not too into the soccer anymore. I feel like sometimes just too busy to kind of catch up on soccer and the games and stuff like that. But big games, big players, I'll take a look at the TV. So, but definitely, I know those players are really talented, and those are the players that people talk about, and kids want to be like. So, definitely top five would have to be those players.
All right. So as a young star growing up back in, I guess you're from St. Elizabeth. I'm just assuming. So growing up in your days, who would have been the player that you are stand out to you, look up to as your role model at that time?
Definitely Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho. Sometimes I feel like I possess some of the back in the days, that is not now, obviously. I possess some of the skills, the natural skills that he had. Just being able to enjoy the game, the peace of being on the soccer field. I could relate to him, in that sense. So he was the person I looked up to, and on the field it was just all fun. It was just his sportsmanship was unmatched. He was always just smiling and just a happy player. Very talented, great team player also. He really showed exactly what soccer is overall, and I leadership, all aspects of soccer. Like you could see that in Ronaldinho. off the field he wasn't the best. So outside of the game, I don't idolize him that well. But on the field, once he gets on the field, it's just pure soccer. He's great representation of what soccer is or a soccer player should be. So definitely that was why I looked up to as a kid, and it kind of motivated me to be where I'm at right now, because if you know me, then I only played the number 12. So I wanted to have my own number, and then you know get to the pro level where kids want to wear the number 12 because Wally wears the number 12. And and that came from the Ronaldo back in the days, or the Rivaldos number 11, or the Ronaldo the number 9. Every kid wanted those numbers 10, 9, 11 because of those guys. So I wanted the 12, and that's my favorite number up until this day. So those were the guys that really motivated me back then.
All right. Wally, I know that that you had played for Jamaica under 17 at one stage. Could you tell us about that, and did you get that number 12?
Yeah, trouble, He said, "Did you get that number 12?" Yeah, I actually did not get that number 12. I'm just gonna be honest, because I got recalled for that team. So during the trial period, I got dropped, and then afterwards they recalled me. So that's why I didn't get the number 12. But when I went there, it was a great milestone for me. At the time, very young, got a chance to represent the country. We played against Haiti. We played against don't quote me, I think it was Cuba was one of the teams that we played against. So it was a good experience for me. I think they came and took me out of class at the time. I had to just run home, pack my bag, get on the bus, and head up there. I think it was a good look for STETHS, because at the time it was three of us: myself, Oniki Samuels, and Adian Tilak. He was a goalkeeper. So it was a good look for the team at the time. Leaving from there, coming back into the team, it was good for the team morale. To have national players on the team at such a young age. Three of us actually played the Norwegian Cup, where we flew to Norway at age 13 and represented the country again. So it kind of built our confidence, and obviously it built the surrounding of the team. It helped the coaching staff to be able to coach more experienced players, and us being role models for the other players. So it was a great experience. I definitely refer it to just about anyone. Representing the country it's definitely something that everyone can appreciate.
Definitely, we appreciate you, man, and that tell of the skill that you had back then. And just want to take this moment to just big up Mr. Jigsy Robinson, another great footballer in a STETHS D Cup team, whichever year.
What's up, Jigsy?
So Jigsy, welcome. And guys, just want you to know, you can always put your comment in there. If you even have a question that you want to ask, you could type it in, because it's going to be an interactive session. And with Jigsy King coming on here, Mr. Robinson, well, we want to take it back to St. Elizabeth Technical High School. As you can see at the top there, you're looking straight into St. Elizabeth. STETHS, work and it is. And that would have basically been a place where I would say your talent would have been harnessed and developed. At that time, you came into St. Elizabeth Technical High School, I think about 2000. So you were the millennium batch when everybody was running into church and all that stuff. You're taking the field.
I was running into STETHS, yeah. Yeah, definitely was a for me personally, and this is why I love and admire and is so involved where STETHS is concerned, because that really was the 5 years, and 5 years obviously because I repeated to play soccer. The 5 years that I really learned most about myself, because so funny, I was at primary school at the Santa Cruz College, and I didn't get a chance to play because obviously the most senior guys would have gotten the opportunity to play, and at the time I just didn't knew I could play the game. But the moment I went into STETHS, we have the physical education class, and that's where your, coach more likely would recognize any kind of talent that you possess, and that's where I would say Mr. Senior would have recognized some talent, and from there he just started to, hone on it and try to improve my skills where necessary. So yeah, I started playing under 14. At the same time, I went to Norway to play the Norwegian Cup, and then under 16 immediately after. And then 2002, that was the year, if anyone remember, that's the year we almost didn't, play the Costa Cup, which would have not been good for the reputation of STETHS, because we just can't miss the D Cup. We can't. It's not a good look. But anyways, they put together a team, and fortunately, I got called for that team. Well, I guess because I live very close by, so it was easy access. But anyways, I got on the team. That's the year. Not Pumas. Pablo that owns the zoo. That's the year he would have coached us. But that team was probably one of the, other than the teams that won the Dakar Cup, that was one of the most successful teams throughout STETHS history of STETHS, I would say, because that was 2 weeks of training, literally 2 weeks of training, and that team, I believe, ended up in the quarterfinals. Yeah, we went pretty far, so that was good experience for myself, which would have made me a little bit more senior the next year, which we did pretty well also. But grade 4 seasons playing. We played the Division 1, Division 2, and we got qualified for the Major League, as a STETHS high school team. So that's really why I'm so STETHS, because a lot happened at STETHS for me, and a lot I learned about myself at STETHS. A lot of growing, a lot of just figuring things out, and that's why it's a technical school versus other schools. I think teachers really just kind of like a railroad, they guide you. They're not going to spoon feed you or pick you up and take you to the finish line, but they're going to guide you and protect you, and and say, hey, that's not good, what about this? Hey, that's not going to help you down the line. I remember I used to miss some classes, and what would have rung in my ears from teachers is, you can't focus fully on soccer. What if you break a leg? God forbid. You need education to turn to, and that was really my story. After soccer didn't work out from the college level, going into the MLS here in the United States, I really, just turned and used my degree and became an entrepreneur. And long story short, but back to STETHS, that's where the foundation was built.
I know you're a man who is always giving back to STETHS, and guys want you to stay tuned, as Mr. Wally B has always been giving back to the school, and this time I said he's bringing back the battle support, the gala, after party, everything going to STETHS. But we're gonna have him talk about it a little later. But Jamaica, look out, December 28th. It is gonna be a night and a day to remember. So, so with that said, Wally, I wanna say the current D Cup is still not, I would say, not finished, but a lot of our Stetsonian, they're saying that it would have been a disappointed season for us, and that we're used to Stets going all the way lately.
Right.
It's just since the pandemic coming in, it's like something happened. I'm not sure if we stopped the preparation during the pandemic when the other teams were preparing, or what it is. But obviously, there's a lot of questions being smuttered around the place. I just want to have your take on, this season with States was a disappointed season. How do you see, the future of football looking for States at current, with the current management team, the current coaching staff, and so forth? If you just want to shed a little light on that.
Well, I was told that we have a younger team, than is needed to, get to any of the top levels. So I guess that means we're looking at a better result next year into the future years coming. But I've also had conversations about coaching staff needing some sort of adjustment. I've had conversations about um, maybe the management team is too involved into the coaching, of the team, or maybe too many outsiders, so the coach doesn't really get his chance to really, be a coach because, sometimes, and I can speak on this personally. Sometimes as players, you play for your coach. You build that bond with your coach. You sometimes might not want to win it for yourself. You might not be that motivated to just push for yourself, but you might want to push for your senior players that's going to leave and you want them to get a title, or you might want to push for your coach, or you might want to push for your fans. So different reasons players will have to be motivated to want to win the cup. So I understand if the coach is not getting, the full opportunity to, you know, indulge his full self into the team and really build that bond with the players, to motivate them individually, which is very important, versus as a team. You need to do both, but definitely the individual motivation is is there's no match to that one. So um I'm gonna go with younger team. Let's see. I guess next season we should get better results. But I've been there. I've been there sitting on the grass that we are staring on the screen right now. I've been there. You know, um, Taking care of the grass, playing on the grass, everything. So I know really and truly what it takes. Sometimes it comes down to the team, not just the coaching staff, not just the management team. Sometimes the team have to grind. They have to, get out there and put out the work off the field. During preseason, they just have to outwork themselves. Sometimes our self is not good enough. We have to find that inner, wherever we got to find that extra, we have to find it. And sometimes it comes down to the team. So instead of blaming the coach, instead of blaming the management team, we have to look at it and say, maybe this team is truly young. Maybe the 11 is not the best 11. Maybe players are not stretching themselves as should be, because at times some of our players back in the days played different roles to make up, when it comes to bigger games. So sometimes it's a team.
So would you say it was a disappointing season for us as spectator, fellas, citizen and past student? How would you look at it? Just with the results that we had.
uh we don't want to settle for just getting out of the group. We want to see quarterfinals, even if it's a younger team, semifinals, and obviously when I get in the final, especially the results we've been having lately from 2009, we've just been a different technical school, so we really want to get back to, those results. And obviously that's the expectation that people have on STETHS, whether they be STETHS fans or competitors. They're expecting STETHS not to just get out of the group. So um, normally I wouldn't say yes, but I'm gonna say yes. It is, just so we can, put a little bit more pressure on ourselves as an institution, and not settle for, the team is young, or not settle for we need new coaching staff, or management team needs to step back a little bit. We don't want to settle for those things and blame those things. We just have to set the expectation high, and we have to meet them. We have to get out of the zone. We have to get into the quarter finals and look into semi, and get back to winning cups. So yeah, definitely.
All right. I know when we were winning, we were riding high with the coach Rambo. Back there, I spent probably a year or two with Rambo at States. So I know he know the game pretty well. As a player coming through the system, and then maturing into being the coach and winning coach, and he have brought so much trophies to States. And now when you look at spectators, we know how spectators are. If you're not winning, they're not with you. When you're winning,
Right.
and right now, I think personally, Rambo maybe having a tough time because he's in Santa Cruz and he's right there where everything is happening, and
Right.
day out you have to face these people who sometimes behind your back they'll talk you. And we know openly some people will criticize you. Football is just that type of game where it's immense pressure, whether on the
Yeah.
field or off the field. Even
Right.
as play, you come down and a severe player, sometimes you just don't have your best game. Sometimes you just miss just a penalty or a free kick or something, and then believe say, yo, you should have scored a ball
Yeah,
there.
right.
Just one touch you needed to make, and you never make the touch, and then it's very pressuring in terms of having to answer to the spectators or the voices on the sideline versus keeping your focus and a balanced mind on the game. If you have a minute with the coach, I'll just take it down to Rambo right now. Say a minute with Rambo. What would that minute entail?
I say look for the weakest player because a chain is as strong as its weakest link. So I say look for the weakest player. It's so funny. I was speaking to one of the players I played with back at STETHS, and we were speaking about I'll call his name Barrington Blake, and we were just speaking about the fun time because he had transferred in, and there are times when personally us both weren't as motivated by the coaching staff as is necessary, and it kind of hindered our games um, at times, but we spoke about how, there are games where we should be in and there are games where we were taken out and, and it was just very complex back then. But I say this to say sometimes we just got to find those players and pull out, that extra strength out of them. They have it within them, but at stats and even with our spectators, you can get, I say it in Jamaican terms, called down sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes the pressure is too much. And you're not as comfortable to bring out that your true potential. And sometimes it takes, a fan, a spectator, because I used to have that a lot. I used to have spectators that, hey, if you scored today, I give you $500. And them times the $500 are money. So those things make you want to go out there. And Monroe games coming up, we have 3, 4, 5 people are saying, hey, I buy you new shoes if you score. Things like those. I'm talking about fans, spectators, past students, that are picking out that one player that they think can, pull the team to different heights, and they're motivating that player. So I was getting my motivation not just from schoolmates, not just from coaching staff, but I had spectators, even though some of them cost me, but I had others that were just like, Wally, it's on you. You gotta do this. If you do this, you
Losing you
get.
for a minute.
Say that again. So yeah, so I think that can help our team. I think spectators just need to come in and find that youth that needs the extra motivation, buy the youth a shoes, whatever the case is. Have a good conversation with the youths. They have a lot of pressure. Jamaica right now has its up and down, so they are going through that. Some of them, their parents can't afford school. Some of them they're not sure what they're going to do after school. Some of them soccer is all they know and love and wants to do. So the pressure not help sometimes. I know back in the days sometimes it was a lot for me, but I had other motivations that kept me going. So we got to be that motivation for the youths, and I know past students like Oniki Samuels, are coming in doing sessions with the boys. Barrington Blake same way. Um, Deshaun Brown, I can call some name, Kingfish, Farkason, these kind of guys. They're coming back and they're using their talents and their passion for soccer and love for stats to come back and show the youth that, hey, we're here, we've been there. It's not gonna be easy, but just know, say, we're on your side, and fans will just understand. So the ball around, we win, we lose, but the guys are not going out there trying to lose. They want to win. So I think more motivation will help, more push, more upliftment, more incentives. I think incentives work. Trust me, it work.
Definitely. All right. Before we move away, I just want to say that you went to states just about your time in and playing the D Cup, then I think our current principal would be just being introduced to St. Elizabeth Technical High School, Mr. Wellington. And I must say, personally, I just want to say big respect to Mr. Wellington in terms of the school itself. The look. When I went back to States the other day and I just walked through the school, it was a good feeling, to
Yeah.
see the whole landscape, the beautification, the projects that he had, accomplished during his
Landscape.
I definitely give thumbs up to him. And I know he's a sports person because way back in the days when I used to be an athlete, I used to run 100, 200, 400 on the south side. And he would have been to Mayfield. And he used to give me a few words of encouragement because I was one
Right.
of the kids on the south side. You know, I don't think he wanted me to run well at that time because Mayfield was his school. I
Was
might roast
against his
him.
school. Right?
But he still would come and give me some support. So I know him from way back and that he loves sports on a whole, especially track and field. But can see the love that he has for soccer and what he have done there. Can you just shed a little light in terms of the principal and what he's doing in the school on a whole, and if there's anything else he could do?
I've seen Mr. Wellington's journey from, when he started, as you said, from being just a teacher to, getting to VP and now being the principal for years. And, definitely looks like he's going to be there for a while, which is not bad. It's good. Um, Definitely doing a good job. We can't take that away from Mr. Wellington. Definitely. As you said, the presentation of the school right now, if you don't go to STETHS and you go over STETHS, you actually want to go to STETHS. If you're a past student, you want to go back to STETHS. These are the days you want to be at STETHS because back then we didn't have all these luxuries, and maybe that's why we enjoyed it back then. But just imagine how much more we would enjoy it having all these, luxury and the presentation of the school that he improved to right now. So definitely overall is doing a good job. I think a lot less students are, you know, I would say making trouble or dropping out and all these things because he's curving them from a younger age, and he's building a culture where people are leaving states and there are more states than back in the days. Back in the days, you have people who love states, but then you have people who, just saw states as school, But I think now the culture that, he developed, people are really wearing that brand with pride, and that's good. Improve or change. Um, Personally speaking, and I'll just put it out there because some way, some shape, some form, people are now seeing me as kind of a representation of states or a person to go to when it comes to states. So I'll get texts or phone calls if someone wants to transfer someone into the school, or even get some information about transferring someone into the school, or if they need their transcript or something like that. Like if they need something from the business office, they might not have a number or might not know what steps to take. I'll receive those text messages or phone calls. Um, I think we could definitely find a way to make people feel more a part of where Stets is going or what Stets became, if that makes sense. I feel like people are left in the past. So for example, let's say I wasn't so involved, then all I would know about states is my 2000 year from 2000 to 2005. I don't get to be a part of the new states. I feel left out. I feel, and this is not me personally, I'm just saying, I'm being a voice.
Yeah,
Um,
so
I feel, I feel left out. I feel like I don't have access to states. People feel like outsiders have more access to states than them who walk the grounds of states or who did so much for states in whatever realm that is. And I feel like, as alumni, we need to feel like we can, go around the corner and say states and proudly say it. We're not just saying, oh, I went to states, or not even want to say it. And I feel like with this we can see a lot more support coming into the school. So imagine what Mr. Wellington did, with what he has right now. Imagine what he could do with everybody. Think about it. I put a number. I mean, I really know the exact number, but every year, 150 to 200 people graduated from states. from 1961. Do you know how many people are out there that wear the STETS colors? And if everybody give a million Jamaican dollar is nothing, but people need to feel like they are STETS. STETS is there. They need access to STETS. You can't go into STETS and feel like you're locked out. And I'm not locked out. So this is not my saying, but I'm speaking on behalf of the many phone calls and the many texts that I receive. So I think that's something we could come up with some sort of program that give people access. I know people who don't know what STETS looks like right now. Me and you know what it looks like and how gorgeous it is, and how many things have changed over there. People back in the 2004 5, those graduating years, have no clue what STETS looks like. They'll be very impressed if they get a chance to see, and that's just them feeling like STETS don't need them. They don't need STETS. They don't need to be involved. STETS is operating fully and well without them, which is fine. But it would still be better if people have access to STETS as a past student, as an alumni.
All right, Wally, thank you for shedding some light in those areas. And quickly, I'm just going to pivot now to another area that you are basically always working. If people don't see you, you're still there. And that have to do with the STETS alumni, especially the overseas side of it here. I know you have done work behind the scene and up front. But we know recently we just have a new executive body. We have voted in a new president. I just want to say thanks to Donovan Wilson for serving all those years that he have served. But now we have seen a whole new shift in terms of the STETS alumni. And people, if you have heard about it, I think this is the biggest bridge between the school, STETS, and us as past student. Is really, if you have heard about it, you want to be a part of the STETS alumni group. Very interesting, and a lot of things is going on there. And definitely, this is the man who can give us a quick highlight of what is happening, especially with the restructuring that is happening right now with new executive team, new president. Tell us about that.
So yeah, you hit the nail on the head, and it bridges what I just said. People wanting access to STETS, this is an option. Being a part of the association is definitely an option because obviously the two intertwines and works very well together. So the association's main goal is to foster growth and progress, support, and everything for the high school. But there are different associations, but I think the biggest one, I can safely say that, is in New York, in the New York area. So past students, if you love STETS so much and you want to have a voice and you feel like you're not being heard, the association is the option. www.stetschat.com. Check it out. See if it's something you want to be a part of. I'm sure I can share the fee. It's only 40 US per year. That's the membership fee. So a very good place to be. A lot of events. One of them being our boat ride or picnic, which is a free event. So that event is the association giving back, and boat ride was very successful. I saw close to 400 people, making it on that ship. So that was a good look. And we have the Christmas dinner coming up. That's another option. So and I hear talks about there being, I'm gonna say recall of the uniform party. So if you feel like you can wear your uniform still, that's something you want to be a part of. So the association is the answer to draw closer back to STETS if you feel like you drifted away. So yeah, so the association is there for that obvious and specific reason. So definitely try and be a part. Executive body, not a lot of change. Obviously, 2 years after, some changes need to be made, even if it's in the government state of the US, the country, or Jamaica, the country. These things happen. Presidents come and they go. So yes, definitely there is some changes in the executive body. Um, Not everyone is gonna be happy with changes, but changes it's inevitable. It happens. Um, but I see bright future for the association. I think everyone's main goal is the same. Everyone is there, you know, we're working towards the same goal to try and improve to grow the association, the connection of people who are leaving states and have us give back to the association. So I think once we stay with that goal in mind, I don't think the presidency should matter, because definitely obviously the president is going to have the same mission in mind. And once that's the same, then I think everyone can work together, whether president or past president or future president, whatever positions people have in the executive body, um, whomever is working behind the scenes, all the supporters, the diehard hearted supporters who are at every event, volunteering, all the different options. I think everyone has the same goal in mind, and that's why it's been working. So I definitely see it working regardless, of who is leading, because again, it's one team. Everyone has a voice, the executive team. Even people who are not on the executive team still, their voice is being heard. So again, that's a place to be if you want to, you know, have some impact where state is concerned.
All right, I know the alumni, you guys been doing a lot of things. I had put out just a birthday post the other day with Elaine, and Elaine is a very active member, and it's one person who you can always reach out to, and definitely will have an answer. And one thing I know, Wally, the design of the shirts, a lot of people want to know how they can get hand on some of these shirt. I don't know if you know all the details, but you probably want to throw that out there, because even a STETHS shirt, just to know that I'm wearing a STETHS shirt.
It counts. Right now, I know the one that's rotating right now. You have to get that from the campus. So you have to go over by STETHS, reach out to the principal or whomever, and try to get one of those. I think that's the one that's circulating right now, and it's a replica of the actual Dakar Cup jersey that you can get personalized. Um, I did partner up with Elaine, as you said her name, and we did one, but that is on pause right now. Just to keep the interest on STETHS and on the Casta Cup team. But that was something we did last year. So if you're looking to get a STETHS jersey, oh, and I think we do have one through the association too, that you can purchase from there. I think it's a 60th. So you can definitely get from the association. Again, www.statschat.com.
All right, Wally, you're a man who have several titles, CEO, boss of Go For brand. So since we are here and talking about jersey and all that stuff, I want to know how is that going? Because we know you have put out some items out there. I actually got myself my sweater
Yep.
last year or this year. I got my sweater, but I'm still having it, wearing it, and I plan to pull it out for Christmas, January too. So
And they get cool, right?
I want it to get chilly down here.
Yeah, brand Goffa is still going. I'm doing exactly what I had initially started out wanting to do, was to make it kind of like um, a lifestyle for myself. So not really a brand for me to wear and show off and say me have my own brand, and that's not what it was about. Nor was it, hey, I want to you know be a millionaire. I know everyone wants to, but I wanted to do it in a way where I'm making the brand more of what I speak and what I do, and how I live my life. Is I always go, because when I was going through the tougher times of my life, with no plan or not the full support that I have right now, back then, what worked for me was I never stopped. I never gave up, and I found myself in situations where I just had to go. And I was always just going. Sometimes I don't even know, what the next 5 days looks like because of the situations that I was in back then. But I realized I was just going, and because I was just going, I never stopped. It's like a race, you might come in last, but in the race of life, it's not about who comes first or last. You just got to finish, but to finish you have to start. So hence I came up with the name Gopher. Back in the days I used to hashtag on the go, because I found myself just always being on the go, because I had to figure out stuff, coming out of college, and being an employee and having a job and bills and all these things. I just found myself having to go, go. So I always post on the go, and people started calling me Mr. On the go. So I wanted to, turn it into something that I could, you know, embrace and use to represent a style or a culture that people can, you know, take a piece of and add to their, experience and progress from there. And that's what I did. I also added the number 12 because that's just, dear to my heart, that number. So that's a part of the brand. And obviously, um, I include half of the world with someone jumping from one side to the other, because that's just how life is. You just have to jump, you have to go. And it's a brand that represents the world, and you'll see the gators on there to represent all the hurdles that we're gonna face. So it's going well. I have it online again, www.kofa.com. You'll be able to get almost anything you want. I can add anything on there, which is good. But I do it as a seasonal site. So now that it's cold, obviously I add the colder stuff, and then back in the summertime I'll add some, gym wears and things like these. They're still on there, but obviously promotional wise, I'll promote more of the gym wears, and times like these I'll promote more colder wears. So it's going well. I was able to branch out some other things from it, do some printing in Jamaica under Go for GPS, graphics and printing services, and obviously the Go for Scholarship, which caused for me to start the Battle Support Gala, which is what supports the scholarship funding.
All right, so definitely we're gonna take it to that place. The whole Go for Scholarship, and just tell us some of the beneficiary. And basically, we also wanted to talk about the battle support, how it started, and in the final part, we're gonna talk about the after party, because I know Jamaica can't wait for that part, because
Just
Jamaica
want
is
to
the
part.
party nation. So you're gonna have a formal part, but then the after party, we know that entail. So
Right. So yeah, so in the first year of starting the initiative, the Go for Scholarship, I was fortunate to, lend a hand to, 8 people, not just from STETHS. So I kind of want to put that out there. It's not just STETHS, because STETHS, we don't have all the struggles in the world. So obviously I have to, do it nationwide, and try to help others too. So I was able to help 8 people, starting out with the first event 2 years ago. Um, and I did the second one in May of this year, and that was pretty successful too. I found that we, took the event from, one level to the other, kind of really to express the standard of the event. So that was good. Reaching out to individuals and high schools to take on students from, those institutions in terms of paying their tuition. So the Gopher Scholarship is, we reach out to the high schools. This is how it works. We reach out to the high schools. We get with their, um, vice president or vice principal or principal, and find out the students that has potential. So kind of they represent what GOFA stands for. They have the potential, but financially they need a little bit of support. Not only just financially, maybe they need a mentor, whatever the case is. Someone to say, hey, you can do it. Someone to keep reminding them that you can do it, and I'm here to support. So that's what the scholarship is. So reach out. We find those kids that they're very good schoolwork. They show ambition, respectful. They follow protocols, and have disciplines. Some of the things that we look for, and we say, hey, we'll take care of the finances. Just focus on your schoolwork. Just make sure you leave STETHS or wherever, whichever high school, with an education. So we kind of ease that financial burden for them. Um, as I always get asked, how do I fund that? I'm not rich, not yet. So I came up with the bottle support gala. So I figured, I could use the, entertainment um, industry or scene, and the support that I get, the support from different people that I get, and the relationships that I've built, and put the two together, and do a classy event, very upscale, and then try to sell a lot of bottles, make it a bottle event, and then from there we will add funding to the GOFA scholarship, which we will use to um, support the kids. As it relates to taking the event to Jamaica, I got invited onto a team by Mr. Oniki Samuels with the 2000 Samuel Soccer Scholarship. So he's a coach at the college that I went to, University of Maine. He's the head coach, and also national championship coach for 2022. Past student of STETHS. People might know him as Uru. Was deadly in the defense back then with Montrose Finn, who played for the country also. These guys I'm speaking of, they all played for the country too. Montrose Finn played for Harborview. That's where a lot of people might know him from. So they invited me on a team where they're bringing coaches from overseas to offer scholarships to obviously STETHS ballers and other soccer players in the country. I definitely had to jump on that because that's how I got to the United States. I got a scholarship, soccer scholarship, 2005, and even though I left on the scholarship 2007, but that was my getaway ticket after I left college. And I think in support of soccer players and just the country in general, I think this is a good program as something that I benefited from, that um, we want to I would say develop more, because it's been going on, but we want to develop it more and have it more defined in getting students, soccer players out of the country, getting scholarships into the United States. So he has about 9 coaches confirmed already, and still trying to get more. And he's planning to do a showcase on January 6th, January 7th, where these coaches will fly in, and we'll have the players play, and they'll watch obviously and see if they see any players that they would want to um, offer scholarships to. So this is where the Body Support Gala JA comes in. I'm just trying to use it to raise funds to assist with that mission in hosting the coaches, because we will be hosting the coaches in Jamaica. We're talking about transportation, food, obviously entertainment for those 2 days. So I'm gonna use that to shout out a lot of people who are right there behind me, big and strong, saying let's do this. Sponsors like Tanya Dorman, Cesar Wright, Gary. I have um, Mobile City Plus, Kyle's Car Wash, Top Rock Sports, and Bulwark Insurance Company in Kingston. So those are some that are confirmed right now as sponsors, and we have many other sponsors who are in the pipeline, that is wanting to be a part of such an effort. So I say all of this just to educate people. If you're looking for a way to give back, um, you're having fun at the event, you're enjoying yourself, you're hanging out with friends and family, but leaving the event, you know that, hey, the fact that you went to that event, someone is going to get, even if it's one person, is going to benefit from, you going to that event. So really and truly, that's why I'm taking the event to Jamaica. Um, in its younger stage. Probably want to knock it out 5 more years in the US first before going to Jamaica. But this was a great opportunity and I didn't want to miss out on it. I want to be a part of something like that. So if you're looking to be a part of such an effort, you can start by, just showing up at the event, get your tickets. Um, we're at 7,000 right now, but it's not gate price. You're not paying $7,000 just to get in. You're paying $7,000 for a package. The experience, the charity aspects of it, the appetizer options, the champagne on entry, the wine unlimited, the possibility to win the best dress award, also all sort of stuff added into that $7,000. But like you said, I know Jamaicans just want to party, so we're definitely gonna bump it up and make the after party very exciting. And then we're thinking about, obviously having um, a different price range for, people who are just coming to the after party, which I think that's where we're gonna see our bigger crowd.
All right. I know this question probably don't need to be asked, but why states, man?
Why? It's a good question. I'm happy you ask it because people are just gonna think, and even before I put out a venue, even some people thought it was Kingston because I don't know why they think St. Elizabeth is not good enough for the upscale events. They're asking me where in Kingston I'm doing it or Montego Bay. I'm like, what? It's going right in St. Elizabeth. So why states is a good question, and that's because I have the support of the states team in Jamaica, and for charity events, you want to, as best as possible, find ways that you can save money. So obviously I got a bill for the venue, but um, it's possible that that bill can get waived as a way of the venue being a part of the cause, of the mission. So they would waive that fee as an option. So that's one of the reasons. But obviously, you don't know states, so we're gonna bring it to states. And security wise, I think it's a good place too. It's fully grounded. Not that we not to say that we need security, but it's a good place to park your car and just know that you're in a safe environment and you can clear your mind and enjoy the day. So yeah, it's just that I have the backative of states Santa Cruz, so obviously that's where I would do almost anything I would be doing.
I think it's a perfect location, and as you say, parking is always important. A man coming in a nice ride, him always want to know some can walk out and car and half yeah to rush back to the car.
Yeah,
Cause,
right. And
and
it's an event that's going to bring out those kind of people who have the nice car and want to come out and comfortably spend their money, and people flying in. So you want to have that upscale kind of secure environment for such an event. So I think States is a good place. We might look into other venues next time, but for now it's definitely States because one team.
all right. I know that from all the past event that I've seen, the dress code. Could you just tell us?
You're hitting all the nails tonight.
Come on, man, them sharp like a razor.
um listen, being sharp is really and truly what your mirror tell you. That's how I see it. Once I look in my mirror and me look good, I don't really care what the other person is gonna say because I have friends who wears the most expensive shoes, and I like gents. I like gentlemen. I have friends who you can't catch them dead in a three-piece suit, and I like three-piece suits, So, my fashion is not gonna be your fashion. Here I am, no hat, and you wearing a hat. But in your mirror, you look good. In my mirror, me look good. So really and truly, I'm just saying, anybody that's hearing me and that's going to hear me, just look in your mirror once you look good, even if your nice expensive sneakers or whatever you have. Just look good and come, because it's all about fun. It's friends and family, and then again, we're Jamaicans. We're gonna put ourselves together no matter where we go. It's not an event that you definitely have to wear a three-piece suit. Nowhere on the promotion did we say, if you're not wearing three-piece suit, we're not selling a ticket or you're not coming into the event. We just That's just the standard of the event. That's the standard of the event. So in your mirror, you will meet that standard, because you want to look good being on a red carpet and taking a picture and making memories. And we're Jamaicans, we're always going to do that. So I'm not too worried about the dress code. Once it's something that I'm involved in, I think people know that there's some thought to be put into where the dress code is concerned. But no, you don't have to come in a three-piece and this and that, and just look good and come, man.
Oh, sound good, sound good. All right. So where can people get their ticket? Pre-sold tickets are at where?
Yes, so obviously, and not obviously, but you can guess. We have tickets in Santa Cruz at the Mobile City shop, Main Street, Santa Cruz. You can go to Kyle's Car Wash, that's on the bypass road, or you can literally from there 2 steps across is gonna be the Go for GPS store, so you can go and get there too. We also have in Mandeville, at the corner store restaurant, and we have at Double Deuce, that's in Exton Junction, and then Black River at the Mobile City store. You can reach out on Instagram at Battle Support JA for information too, or gopher.com. We do have tickets on gopher.com on the website. People are getting tickets from there too. So we're trying to make it as you know accessible as possible for people to get tickets. And as soon as we finalize the after party madness, then we will put that out there for people to have access to those too.
So none of the states itself. What are go on?
No, we don't want them to see the venue yet.
Okay.
No, we only want to go to the venue on the date.
All
And
right.
school are going right now, so we don't want to disturb all of that and stuff. So yeah.
So I mean, just big up my friend Lenroy, cricketer, as you can see the cricket jersey. So while I'm on here, I want to give a shout out to the cricketers. And States cricketer, big up on yourself. Cricketers all over the world, big up yourself. Lenroy White, big up yourself. We are carrying Jamaica for the Christmas. Go.
Definitely.
So guys, just invite a friend to, it's gonna be an event that you don't want to miss. As the man have shared just a little insight into what he's doing. But the biggest thing behind this is the fact that he's giving back, the support, the scholarship, it's something that he's doing from his heart, guys. So in whatever way you can support him, if you can attend the ballroom style, well, guess what? The after party, I tell you, that is gonna be nice. We know it got the vibes. Vibes will be right, because I don't know, Wally B vibes, man. So footballers, we are going to invite all cricketers, invite out and carry a friend and a family, because it's gonna be something for everyone, right? Wally?
Right. Let's take a step back in through the gates of STETHS, and back into the auditorium, and just try and remember what that was like. This is a good time to do that. This is why one of the reasons why I'm bringing it back to STETHS, so we can kind of have that reunion.
Anyway, before Lenroy right come off here, I want him give away is a man we love soccer, This man is a real English man, you may need to hear him, bring him out of States, come commentate. But I want to hear from all of the viewers, the football team want to carry, want to get it early, we want to wait till they go down to the best eight. We want to give you a team from early. So if you support a football team, well, you can put it in the World Cup. And if you have a local schoolboy team, you can put it in there to just make it be fun.
Brazil.
So any final thing you want to let the people them know? Because
Uh yeah, there's a lot that I could have gone into, but time is the master. You know, I just want people to know that, we're on a mission, and I'm definitely, not the physical or the mental part, the only physical or mental part where this process is concerned. There's a lot of people behind that's motivating it and supporting it, and the promotion is just to get you to be a part of that support team, and by you just coming to the event, obviously you're gonna benefit from it, but still that's you supporting the cause, because that's the mission. The mission is to know that we're able to help one or two youths, because where we're at right now, if we just sit back and fold our hand, we're gonna be fine. We everyone has their thing going on, and everyone has their struggles that they have to deal with, and we can just take a step back and deal with that on our own. But you have people like the Oniki Samuels, the Barrington Blakes, those kind of guys that are trying to give back to youths, not just states, but youths in general, whether it's offering them a scholarship into the United States. Because really and truly, some of the Monroe youths, they did that for us. Because when we went on scholarships, we didn't have a scholarship program at STETHS. We didn't have, and I'm saying it now, but this is something that we can look into. We didn't have a pathway for students or student athletes to leave states into jobs or into study in the United States or whatever the case is. People are leaving high school, and it's a scramble. Fortunately, we got the opportunity, presented to us by um, some of the Monroe players, which I'm still, acquaintance with right now, and that's really what helps. So really and truly, we got that opportunity, and that's the same opportunity we're trying to give back. So just come out, positivity all the way. That's really and truly what we're promoting, and it's not a Wally thing. I'm a part of something that's bigger than me. It's not a Wally thing. I'm a part of other people trying to accomplish things, and I like what they're doing, and I want to be a part of it. So I bring what I was doing, or is doing, to merge, and we're just trying to, help some youth, because we have the platform now. We have the platform to help a youth, and help them with a scholarship, and reach out to some friends and say, we're trying to get a plane ticket for that youth, or the youth that need a bank statement, or whatever the case is. We have that platform, so we're just trying to maintain it. And buying a ticket, coming to the event, or what a lot of people are doing is still buying a ticket even though they can't make it, or still donating even though they can't make it. That helps, and it goes a long way. So I
I
want to
can
use
say,
that to big up the sponsors, them, from first year until now. 10, 12 sponsors are always there, supporting and saying, continue doing what you're doing, Wally. This is my sponsorship. So we still have room for more sponsors. So if it's something that you want to be a part of, we can talk about those sponsorship packages, so we can make it easier to help more youths and more schools. We want to add more schools to both initiatives. So one initiative is the Go for Scholarship. That's not our main focus right now. The main event was for that. This event is for the Samuel Soccer Scholarship, where he's bringing coaches to Jamaica to offer scholarships to youths, and we're trying to partner up with the bigger heads. I won't say any names right now, to really get it island wide instead of just it.
all right. So I know a lot of young youths, just hearing you make that statement that you're bringing in at least 9 coaches from the USA. That simple mean they can be seen, what they're doing there on the ground can be seen, from overseas, but not just that, somebody send some form of a clip or something, but they're actually gonna be on the ground. How
Right.
can somebody get before these coach, even if they're not playing in that particular game?
So yeah, so that's kind of what I touch. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Well, we can still use the same methods that everybody is using, where you get a clipping or some sort of recommendation or whatever the case is. But obviously, the best way to do that is through the schoolboy football, the Castle Cup, which just happened. So there are players that are on the horizon right now, and like I said, we're trying to get with bigger entities so that we can have more access to the top players in the country, because we also want to represent the country well to the coaches that are coming, so they can see some good talents versus just show them whatever. So we want to have those top players. And also, if we have sponsors of the event, these people have full access um, to the showcase, so they can they get invitee slots to bring in players just the same. But it's available to the public, but some sort of screening has to happen. We're not gonna have the time to throw in everyone, but obviously there's a process for everything. So once we get everything together, we'll get it out there, and we will find the top players in the country that we definitely can offer scholarships to them, and help them with securing themselves a better future.
Yeah, well, I just want to say, really, as a Stetsonian and a man who attended the school, I really love what you've been doing. Even stretching beyond Stets, as you said, the scholarship is not just for students who attend St. Elizabeth Technical High School, but students who may be out there who are struggling. Parents may just find it difficult to basically foster the growth of that child, even though they are academically you know equipped, but
Right.
just the financial part of it is lacking. And I know a lot of students like that who would be very welcoming to such a scholarship. And I say the more of us that get on board, then it is the more people or the more students that will be able to help. And I can actually pledge from tonight that I definitely gonna get 2 tickets. The first, me and my wife. I'm gonna see if my parents wanna attend, and if they wanna attend, well, I'm gonna take them along with me, so that
Nice.
at least we bring a car full. So
Right.
you're going to the to the gala, or just to the party. Ensure say
Right.
no,
Right.
no waste no space.
Right. I like that. I appreciate that. Definitely. But yeah, man, I was a support still, so we don't expect nothing less. So definitely appreciate that 100%.
Yeah, man. So really, really appreciate what you've been doing, brother. Work on integrity is really, as I said, it is doing the right thing even when nobody's watching.
Right. 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 Well, I'm surrounded by some good, as they would say, old people, which I don't see them as such. I see them as people who are still jovial and still full of strength and life. And those are some of the people I have around me that I really enjoy hanging out with and doing stuff with, that are in the association. And when sometimes it looks weary and dusty, those are the people that help me to funnel some of the dust them, and help me to keep it pushing. And I definitely want to use the platform to just let them know I appreciate it a lot. Because they say it takes a village, and that's volume right there. It definitely takes a village to raise a good youth. So I have a lot of support, and we're not just take it and put it in our back pocket and keep it moving. We're trying to use it to help others. And I have some youths I went to states with. They have the same heart and the same mindset. And this is why we gain some success, because we have those kind of people in the surroundings. People from my batch, Jeremy and West, the Tashana Rose, those kind of people. So um, yeah, man. Jim Brown, big up yourself, same way, and everyone in the association. Let's just keep doing what we can. I'm say one cook a full basket. So we're going to fill it up.
Yeah, man, I love that. So really and truly, guys, I just want to say, thank you guys, whoever have joined. And even for a minute, it's taking time out from what you've been doing, your busy schedule. But as I say, together we rise, building our nation. Is definitely, it's like a network. It's like people with good heart coming together, positive vibes. helping to uplift another soul, along the way. And that is the reason why I developed this platform here, to even give somebody a venue to share, to the broader community. And I would encourage you guys, if you have not subscribed or you have not hit the follow button, just continue to subscribe, continue to follow, and with that we're able to get it to more people. Because each of us in our little corner, we have 5-6 people who look up to us, and that is the thing. You want to be that type of person in the community that people look up to you. So even if you share something to your page, somebody will look at it and say, let me see what Ian are going with over there. So, and right away, somebody will learn about the Gala. Somebody may just want to support, the venture that Wally is involved in, what he's doing. Because you have like-minded people and people who have, as Wally would have said, have gotten help along the way, and they're just looking. If you're hearing me, sorry, it seems like we had a little technical difficulty, but if you are able to hear me, all I'm just saying is that, subscribe, hit the like button, and share the story. And there'll be more like this coming, where we give anyone out there who have a good story, or it can just motivate, uplift, and just share with somebody else to, take them sometime from that dark place. Because many
Right.
of us times, we get there, and we just need a little light. So, Wally, the last word is yours, my brother.
Yeah, I wanna throw back all the love to you. Definitely thanks for having me. I don't judge anything at any level. I respect everything for what they really are, and I respect this platform for just being that, just being something that I can use as a ladder to help me to get to the top of where I want to be. So definitely want to throw back the love to you. It's the second time having me, so we can chit chat about STETHS a little bit, and get a chance to talk about what I'm trying to accomplish. So thanks for having me. Definitely keep doing what you're doing. I like that you know reach the million views yet, but you still have that million view energy. You're still doing your interviews and having your conversations with people despite who knows about it and who not sure, and it's going to happen. I've been there, when I, started with my one and my two shirts, them, and, the people them around me, they buy the big brands, and, they don't pay me no attention. And, I found that I just never stop. And I can see that's the same thing with you. So I'll love back to you. Thanks for having me, and I'm looking forward to being here again, in the future.
Blessing, my brother. Blessing to everyone that join us. Have a great afternoon.
All
Thank you.
right. Have a good one, everyone. Blessings, brother.